Hello, hello, beautiful people out there. Welcome to the first episode of this new format I call Deep Talk. I'm very happy that you're here. I felt like, switching things up a little bit. I needed to change something, some things. And this was something that was brewing inside of me or in my field, or something that was ready to be birthed at this point in time. And something, when I look at it from a reflective point of view, that this was something that I always wanted to do, like have deep talk with people, and with myself, kind of, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea where this is going, and I have no idea what this is going to be, but I'm just exploring this format, and there is no guideline, there is no theme or topic that I'm specifically going to dive into today. This is kind of a free flow thing, something for me to play with, and something that's just for fun. And kind of another creative outlet to play with. And who knows, maybe there's something in it for you too. Maybe some messages, maybe some ideas. Who knows? But if you're here, I guess you're here for a reason. So let's dive into this first episode. And there's a reason why I chose this format to be just a voice format, an audio format, because I am working with some theories around sound, and there's an amazing radio series that has been recorded from a German radio speaker, and he's also a musician and a TV host, and an all-around amazing person. And this series is called The World is Sound. And like the name of the series suggests, it's all about sound and how everything is sound. And one of the major topics in this series is evolving around the ears and the eyes, and they put a specific, they talk a lot about the ears and how so many people think that the eyes are more important than the ears, but it is the other way around. And there are a lot of studies and a lot of studies that show how important our ears are, because I don't know if you know, but I didn't know until I heard it in the series that the ears are kind of they are the most sensitive area in our body, or on our body, however you wanna say it. So most people think that the sexual organs are the most important area, or they are the most sensitive areas we have. But it's the ears, and there's a reason. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for the ears to be one of the most important organs, one of the most important senses that we have is the ability to listen. But what does it say about this world and the way we walk through this world or experience this world? That is kind of interesting for me to explore. And I also heard in the theories that, the eyes kind of guide us through this world, but through our ears, we experience this world truly. And they also mention they also talk about the difference between blind and deaf people. There was a psychologist that was working in a facility for deaf people and working with deaf people. And he said it was kind of a relief when he got transported to a blind institution. He was like, oh, if you would know the difference, coming to the blind institution and working with the blind people was kind of felt kind of a walk through heaven, because there was a lot of harmony and empathic and loving people. And he said that in the institution for deaf people there was so much anger. And I kind of get now, at this point in time in my life, why that could be, because it must be very, very, very frustrating to not get the full experience of this world, because I myself am very sensitive, I hear a lot of frequencies from all kinds of ranges. It was always like that, but with exploring all my clairs, I kind of I noticed that my hearing ability is very, very developed, I would say. And I also noticed that within my family, that's a thing that is a thing, We hear a lot of things, like the smallest sounds, the smallest shifts that are in the environment, we notice it. And I thought for a big part in my life that was kind of annoying, because it cost me my sleep a lot of times. It made me feel anxious in a lot of moments in my life, because when you experience everything on that level and you hear everything, like now I'm at this point where I hear the thoughts that, or the electromagnetic impulses that are flowing through the field of a person, and our brain is translating these impulses. Like, I can hear them. Not all of them, but some of them I can hear. So I can translate not only my thoughts, but also some of the impulses and information that's in the field, in the collective field and the field of a person, which is very interesting. And yeah, telepathy is a thing, definitely. Telepathy is definitely a thing. And I feel like within the last few years, it has become more and more obvious that, yeah, it really is a thing, and other people are mentioning it too. Like, even people I just met on the street, and we are like clicking, and they are like, telepathy is a thing. And I'm like, yeah. Thank you for reflecting that for me. That's amazing. But yeah, talking about the ears, very, very important organ. Very, very important ability. So this is the reason why I chose this format to be an audio format. And the other reason is also because I always dreamed about having a radio. How is it called in English? A radio channel? Yeah. some radio format people could listen to when they are like driving in their cars, or I don't know, getting ready for work. Something that is just lifting up their mood. Something playful and cheerful, where there's no like bad news in every 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, something that makes you feel like the world is gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Even if sometimes it feels like, oh my God, where's this gonna go? So that is why this is an audio format. And I already said that before, but who cares? On deep talk. Well, deep talk was always a thing in my life. Like, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I mean, who likes small talk at this day and age? Like, I think we as a collective, we as humans have shifted away from this small talk thing into, like, I don't know, big connections and deep connections. I know that the world is reflecting to me my own state of being, and that I have deep conversations and deep connections with so-called strangers, because I'm like deeply connected with that deep part of myself, and they are also deeply connected with that spark in them. But I feel like that's also a general vibe, you know. People want to connect on a deeper level more. I feel like there's this need, like not only for surface level connection, but for deep understanding. And in the past, I noticed that, I don't know, I grew up in a world where there was a lot of small talk, and it was always bothering me. It was always bothering me because no one said the things that needed to be said, you know. They were always in the room, but no one spoke them out. And I was like, how is this possible? How can they live like that and not talk about these things that are so important? they would feel so much better. But no, there was always this tension. There was always this tension in the room that was kind of, I don't know. It was, sometimes it was intense. I'm sure you know what I mean, but yeah. Now we seem to like communicate more openly. And maybe it's just me and the reflection of maybe my conversation with my inner being, and that is reflected in the world, but I feel like that is also a general vibe. Even if I don't want to generalize all of these things, but I feel we shifted. We shifted from surface level connection into, a more open-hearted, and like we as humans are connected, and we kind of have to take care of each other and the world, don't you think? I feel like that's important, and I feel we're there. I feel like we're there, and it's okay that not all of the people are there. It's okay. It's okay that some people still think that there's some kind of separation between one race and the other, or I don't know, a separation between the genders, or I don't know. It's okay that they are there as long as they don't hurt each other or themselves, I feel. Yeah. And as long as it's not getting dangerous for anyone, that's okay. Because, the world is like very diverse, and it should be. We should not all think the same way, or feel the same way, or do the same things, or handle everything like the other person does. That would be so boring. Yeah, I hope you get what I mean, and I hope that I didn't say like something like, I don't know, of course racism is not okay, but you get where I'm going, right? I'm just saying that, everyone is where they need to be. But a shift has happened. And that's the most important thing, I feel, at this point in time. That a shift has happened. This feels very, very satisfying and kind of relieving, because for the past few months, I had this feeling like I need to switch things up. I need to shift things. I mean, I'm always in this, as an artist, I'm always like, I feel like that, how can I put that into words? I'm always shifting and shaping into different things, and all of my creations are always shifting and shaping into different things. And every time I think, that's it. Now that's the format I'm stick to. That's what I'm doing, like, to put a name on it, and like creating always the same thing. And at the same time, and after that, I'm always like, that's not it. It's not it. And I don't know if I can stick with like doing the same thing over and over again. I don't know. But I feel like I'm in need for some consistency. I feel like it would be cool to have a format that has some kind of consistency. Even if I don't know, like in this format, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm going to explore with this. But there are some things that are the same, like maybe the title or the thumbnail, or Maybe there's a little melody in the background. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I can commit to that, to this. I hope I can. Maybe I'm just saying it now, and in 3 weeks things look different. But right now it feels exciting, and right now it feels like the right thing to do, the right thing to be. Deep talk. Well, I would love to know what are your thoughts on deep talk? And are you, I mean, if you clicked on this video, you may, I'm sure you like deep conversations, but if you would like to share with me in the comments what you want to share about this, I would love to know. I always love to read comments, even if there are just a few comments on my YouTube channel, but I always love to read them. I'm like, new comment, yay! And I'm always I don't want to be ungrateful or anything, really. I'm really happy with all the people that comment, and I'm very, very grateful. But you compare sometimes, and I do compare with myself, because I'm kind of this person that is like watching a YouTube video, like whatever kind of video it is, if it generated, I don't know, a feeling or an idea, or just if it shares something that I feel is important for the world. It doesn't matter if it's an art channel or just someone sharing their thoughts about something, or another podcast. If it moved me in a way, then I have to comment. I have to share my excitement, and I have to say thank you. Like, not because I have to, but because I feel like it's important, and I always feel like this person should know that he or she or they are making an impact in this world, because they just changed someone's perspective, maybe, or generated a new idea that could lead to somebody creating something new. And I feel like that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Which feels exciting. It feels exciting if you think about how everything is connected. And I just spoke about telepathy. And now we're like not only connected through this morphic field of information, but also, maybe the internet is the manifestation of the morphic field. Oh goodness. Wow. Just blew my mind by myself. I have to let that sink in. Okay. Wow. New worlds opening up right now. New folders in my consciousness are being created. What am I going to do with this information? That's crazy. So, we're all connected. There's the World Wide Web. And now you can see all of these people. You can not only feel them, but you can also see them. And the other way around. Crazy. And there's the morphic field. And telepathic connection. Exciting. If you don't know what the morphic field is, I will link a website or a YouTube channel or both for you in the description box below of someone that explains the morphic field theory in a very, very cool way. And his name is Rupert Sheldrake. And he's so cool. I think he's so cool. Rupert, if you ever hear this, I'm like, I celebrate you so much. And I'm so thankful for your work and everything you're doing. And yeah, I worked with your wife once. And I asked her to come on my podcast, but she did not respond. And I respect that. But maybe you want to come on my podcast. One can dream, right? So much about the morphic field theory. I wanted to explain a little bit, or talk a little bit more about the morphic field theory and what's it all about, because I don't know, maybe some of you have already heard about it, maybe not. So I think I have to start from the beginning, I guess. So, but which angle are we starting from? I feel like we should start from this theory of everything being an ocean of consciousness or an ocean of thought. Like there's this how can you say that? There's this saying that like everything is consciousness. The whole universe is like consciousness. And we are swimming in that like ocean of thought. And yeah, everything that is materialized existed first in the form of a thought. And yeah, this thought materialized with the help of some momentum that was created through motion. So there's this field of information all around us. Like it's not only the auric fields or the magnetic fields, or some people call about emotional bodies or mental bodies or astral bodies, but all of these bodies are connected, and they are what they create the field that kind of is you. So all of these bodies and whatever information is stored in them, they create they shape reality. They shape reality, and they create things, all kinds of things. Good health, bad health, good thoughts, bad thoughts, good feelings, bad feelings. But so all of these bodies are all of these bodies combined are the morphic field. That is the auric field. That is not only outside of you, but also inside of you. And it's interacting. Because I see it as not only like when people paint it, you just have these layers of these different bodies. But when you look at them, like from a 3D perspective, and they all, like, there are these onion layers, but there's also the fabric that is holding these layers together. And it's not only like a force that is pushing from the outside. It's like the torus field. It's like a field that is constantly rotating. It's always in motion, like this sphere or this torus field that is around you is always in motion. And it's always spinning, and like the Merkaba. And there's this opposite rotation of two vortices that rotate in the opposite direction, but they meet in the middle of the body. And they exchange information, like from the earth and the heavens. And they bring together in the middle of the body. And yeah, this rotation is what is holding the molecules or the atoms of the body together. Like without this rotation, all the atoms and molecules would just fall apart. So that is interesting. That is very interesting. Well, we have this torus field that is around the body, inside the body, and these vortices. Yeah, it's kind of fueling itself. It's always in motion, always in motion. Getting information in, getting information out, getting information in, or sucking information in, pushing information out. Sucking information in, pushing information out. Always a constant movement, constant flow. Well, I do resonate with this. I feel it in my body. Let me know if you feel something. That would be interesting. So, torus fields. Interesting. Torus fields. So, we have this torus field that holds the molecules of our bodies together. And then we have these fields like around everything, around every object. Small or big, it doesn't matter, it is there. And it is always a sphere. It is always a sphere. Because everything in this universe is a sphere. Like the planets are spheres, stars are spheres. Yeah. So we have a small sphere in a bigger sphere. Like, for example, the human torus field sphere, spiraling vortex, constantly spiraling in the earth field sphere. spiraling vortex, constantly spiraling, fueling, sucking information in, pushing information out, sucking information in, pushing it out. It's a sphere, in a sphere, in a sphere, in a sphere. And maybe the universe as a whole is also a sphere. Even if it has no beginning and no end, but it would be funny. It would be funny. Like endless, an endless follow-up of spheres and spheres and spheres and spheres. That's crazy. That is crazy. Where is this going? I don't know. But it feels exciting. And my body's resonating with the information. Wow. It would be so interesting to read what you think about this. Well, of course, nothing I share here is like written in stone. I'm not an apostle, like carving into stone. This is how it is, and this is how it's always gonna be. No, I'm just exploring some concepts, like I always do. I love to explore concepts. It's very exciting. It's very exciting, and it always leads me somewhere different. Then I get to a point again, and then it leads me somewhere different. It always goes deeper to a point of a deeper understanding. So, torus fields around human bodies. Torus fields around stones or pencils or insects or animals. Constantly sucking in information, pushing out information. So, walking vortices. That is interesting. That is interesting. Now I see, because when I started, I closed my eyes because I heard my guide say, close your eyes when you're doing this. And I was like, okay, no problem. Now I see this scene, this movie scene from, what's it called? What's the movie called? I studied film. I should know this. It's called American Beauty. I hope so. It's this teenage film with this weird father that is like into this young teenage girl. But there's another story, but this is for some reason the story that like stayed with me, which is also kind of explaining a lot. And it's bothering me. Yeah, anyways, American Beauty, like very, very famous movie with a lot of very famous actors. And there's this scene with this, I don't know, I think he's also a video student. He's a little bit weird and dark, but also cool. And he's filming this plastic bag that is moving because the wind is blowing it in all kinds of directions, and it's a very beautiful scene in the movie. I don't know if you remember, but we talked about it in university when we were like talking about like kind of epic movie scenes, and for some reason this was one of the topics in the discussion. But yeah, I remember us watching that scene, and I was like, that is really cool. Like, because this bag wasn't dancing with the wind, or the wind danced the bag, if one might say this, I don't know. there was this constant movement and dance, like heart swooshes, like shoo. And then it was more gentle. And then the movements were fast. And then they were slow again. But yeah, after that, I didn't think about this conversation. But when I got into these like energetic topics and all of these like more spiritual themes and everything, and one is kind of like asking these big questions, like existential questions that are like flowing through the minds of every person at some point in life. And yeah, I remember like just wondering, like, isn't the air like kind of magical, and the wind is like ooh, spooky but also so cool. And then I noticed that like energy, all the energy, like it doesn't matter if it's a stream, like a river, or the wind, it is moving in a spiral. Like you can see it when you have the autumn leaves on the ground and there's like a bigger like wind blowing them away, and they are like spinning, you know, the leaves are spinning. And when you look at the river, and yeah, there are some things that break the current of the river. Like this I also read in a book. It's from Jill Pearce, The Mystic Spiral, because she was working with these concepts, and she got to the point where she was like, there are these spirals in the water, and they are created through like things that break up the stream, or when two currents are like intersecting, like when you have interference of some sort, the water is like building these or forming these spiraling vortices, which is interesting. So we have the wind in this epic scene from American Beauty, and the vortices in the rivers, and maybe even in the oceans. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I just wonder at this point in time, at this moment, like, yeah, well, I just wondered, where is that representation of the spiral in the earth, like the earth element, you know, because we have it in the winds, we have it in the water. I wonder if it is represented in the ocean, but yeah, there are these, I don't know what you call them, like water tornadoes, so they are also kind of in the ocean, but I don't know if they are also created in the ocean, because I know that in a lake, for example, you can have these inside the water vortices that like suck you down to the bottom of the lake, where if this happens to you, like, don't fight it, just let yourself like be sucked to the bottom, and then swim out of it and swim back up to the surface, to the lake, because it's better to save your energy and use it than to get back up, than to fight against this current that is sucking you down. But yeah, just a very important side note. And yeah, that could be even life-saving. My gosh. So I wonder, if the vortices are in the lakes, they must also be in the oceans. Which is a little bit scary. I mean, you see it in the movies, but I don't know. In Pirates of the Caribbean, I think it was, what was it? The one with Davy Jones, where they with Calypso, I don't know, Calypto, this water goddess. And there's this big fighting scene where all the ships are in these big water vortices, and they have to get out of it again. There was the scene, but I don't know if this ever happened, for real. Would be interesting to know. If some of you know more about this, I would love to hear more about this or read more about this. Share it with me, please. Yeah, but the earth. So when I thought about the earth, I got these pictures in my mind of these trees that have this spiraling growth. You see, they grew in a spiral. But not all of the trees have it. But I guess, when you cut a tree and you look inside and you have these layers of circles, that could also be a spiral. So we have it in trees. But do we have it represented in the earth? I'm thinking about volcanoes. But there's no volcanoes or mountains. But I don't know if they grow I don't know if they even grow. How are they shaped? How is a mountain shaped? I just know that there were a lot of shifts through very, very big cataclysmic events that were shaping the land. And I know that this happened a lot of times, and I know that I read about it. I don't know for sure, but I read about it and it felt very logic. I was yeah, of course, that's it. So there were these cataclysmic events that caused some pole shifting and some tectonic plate shifting. And the oceans, they were also moving. Or some places were underwater before, and they are outside of the water now. And I know that a lot of mountains were shaped by water currents. Sorry. I just ate. So they were shaped by water currents when they were inside of an ocean, and now they are not anymore, because the surface was sinking and now it is rising again. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I think I have to feel into this a little bit deeper. But for some reason I feel like we got somewhere today, even if this somewhere is ended in a question. But I feel that's it for now. I feel that feels complete for me, even if it's not complete. And it also feels like it's just the beginning, but yeah. Okay, whoever's listening to this, thank you for listening. Maybe I see or hear you, or maybe you'll be there in the second episode. Maybe not. We'll see. I'll be there just to see what comes forward. Okay. Have a nice morning, evening, midday, night, whatever, at whichever point of the day you're in right now. Yeah, stay healthy and have a lot of fun. Like, have all the fun. Okay, goodbye.